Chicago, like most big cities, has its fair share of unsolved crime. And in most of these cases, somebody saw or heard something. It could be a suspicious person, a car driving away from the scene, or simply overhearing somebody talking about the case. With your help, we can put these criminals behind bars where they belong. Here in Chicago, we have too many unsolved murders. We need your help. In these cases, the police department is only as strong as the citizens that get involved. Oftentimes, all the detectives need is a tip, a start. Somebody to call in and say, I saw something. Any little information that you know can be the impetus to solve the entire case. On tonight's episode, we'll be featuring the case of 20-year-old Michelle Pearson. On June 7, 2014, Michelle Pearson, an energetic mother of a young son, was planning a night out with her cousins. While the group was deciding what to do, Michelle decided to go home to be with her son. While she was walking to her apartment, a gunman approached and fired multiple shots, striking Michelle 3 times. Here's her story.
I was trying, hard to have a child. I thought I couldn't have no kids. Michelle, that was my firstborn, and she was an angel.
Me and Michelle was born in the same month, 18 days apart. She is my big cousin.
Michelle was everything to me. Michelle was the life. She was a fun person to be around. She spoke her mind. She would take her shirt off and give it to you if you didn't even have a shirt. That's what type of person she was.
Basically, how I was how she was. As I got older, it was like, are we the same? I looked just like her. Everybody said, y'all look just alike. So she tried to guide me. At first, we would call each other Makila Michelle. We gonna call each other sister, and that was odd.
Michelle was very popular. She went to a big school called CBS High School. Everybody knew Michelle. She was well known around the neighborhood.
From 1st to 12th grade, she was an honor student. Smart as ever.
Michelle was the only person I could go to out of my family to speak about my issues. She was my confidant. She was everything to me.
We did everything together. We had brought the same cars. We go get our nails done together. We'll hang out, we'll go bowling. She loved to go out to eat. That's mainly what we did, was go out to eat. She loved to eat.
She couldn't tell me no, because I used to just hurry up and run to her car like, I'm finna go with you. And my middle sister just be staying back like, y'all, I'm telling mama. We'll be, all right, we gone.
She'll tell us right from wrong or what to do and how to handle a situation. She always gave me good advice.
If I needed anything, Michelle was there. Michelle would give it to me. That's what type of person she was. She was very gifted.
I consider my sister as a role model.
She had Antonio, her son, at 16. And that changed her whole life. She really had a rough time being pregnant and school and working.
Her son is my birthday twin. He was born March 29th. I remember the first day she had him, actually. We was all excited. I went in there, I said I was a baby daddy. That's my son, that's my son. She was like, oh my God, Devontae, I'm tired of you.
All she was known for was working and taking care of her baby, trying to get her to school.
Michelle is a very hardworking person. Michelle loves to work. She don't care. We try to get her outside. She never want to go outside because all she do is work.
She was so excited she had 4 days off. She worked it 13 days straight. She said, Mama, I want to go outside. I said, okay. So I wound up taking her baby. And I said, well, I'm going to keep Antonio for her because she had been working hard at everything.
It was a happy day for her. My mama was like, y'all ain't going nowhere till my house is clean. So she like, well, I'm off. I'm finna do what I gotta do so I can hurry up and go. If y'all not ready, I'm leaving y'all.
Earlier that day, she was so happy, like she was so happy. Could nothing get in her way. She like, I'm off for 4 days. She kept telling me and my sister, I love y'all, I love y'all. I didn't have a feeling that nothing was gonna happen, but it was just she was too happy. She was too happy.
Not knowing that was the night I would never see my daughter again. And she is my oldest child. Never did I think that I would lose her the way that I lost her.
On the 7th of June 2014, at approximately 3 a.m., the Chicago Police Department received a 911 call of an individual shot at the 4600 block of South Ellis. The initial officers arrived and found a female that was shot in the head, and she was later identified as Michelle Pearson.
Have you been in an accident? Have you been the victim of discrimination or had your rights violated? Have you been injured? If so, the lawyers at Hale Law would love to talk to you. We offer a free consultation. Call me, Andy Hale, 312-870-6926. 312-870-6926. I look forward to talking with you about your case.
On the 7th of June 2014, at approximately 3 a.m., the Chicago Police Department received a 911 call of an individual shot at the 4600 block of South Ellis. The initial officers arrived and found a female that was shot in the head, and she was later identified as Michelle Pearson.
And we were trying to get her to stay in the house because we was ordering pizza that night. And she was like, just order it tomorrow. Just order it tomorrow. So I'm like, no, just stay here. She like, I want to go outside. I ain't been out in so long.
The pizza came at around 12 something. So I'm sitting up here, she's still not in, so I'm calling her phone. We wind up eating the pizza. Everybody done fell asleep. I'm up waiting on her.
We was all together that night at my cousin's house. She was like real happy, like she had the biggest smile on her face that night we was with her. She had on a little dress and she was just so happy, smiling, hugging me. Now we was trying to figure out what we was gonna do. So I guess we wasn't making up our mind fast enough for Michelle. She like, y'all ain't making up y'all mind quick enough, so I'm finna drop my friend off and I'm finna go home and get my son and go to sleep.
She was in that area along with friends, and she drove a friend to approximately like 66th, 67th and Walcott area to drop them off. And when there, she met the two individuals that she was then driving back to the area of 46th and Ellis where they lived.
Michelle seen two friends that she went to school with, grammar school with, she grew up with, and they asked her for a ride, and she took them home.
Vehicles were parked along the curb. It's a street it's a one-way street going southbound. Michelle Pearson, along with two other individuals, had parked just north of 46th Street on the 4500 block of South Ellis, and they were walking to an apartment building on the 4600 block of South Ellis, and while walking on the sidewalk, a car pulled up, an individual exited that vehicle. The individual had a hooded sweatshirt on that was pulled tight and began shooting at them, striking Michelle in the head and striking one of the other two individuals also.
Next thing you know, the phone just kept ringing. And I picked up and that was my son. He said, Michelle got shot. And I just panicked.
The police were dispatched to a shooting that occurred at 4608 South Ellis. The uniformed officers would get there and they would protect the crime scene by putting up police tape so that bystanders wouldn't drive through or walk through in order to preserve evidence. Eventually, detectives would arrive and crime scene personnel would arrive.
He's telling her, like, did she hear what happened about Michelle? And my mama just hopped up, like, what? I got woke up out my sleep, and then that's when I'm asking her, like, what happened? What's wrong? Then she just get to running up the stairs, running out the front door, screaming in the middle of the street, like, Michelle got shot.
It was like 2 o'clock in the morning, and I was thinking, like, where's Michelle? She must be spending the night out. And then that's when I heard my mama, she was like, Michelle got shot.
I got a phone call, and They said Michelle was shot up. I said, I was just with Michelle like 25 minutes ago. She couldn't have got shot up. I didn't even want to believe it. Like, I had that feeling that it was bad.
And he was like, Mom, they need you up there. You gotta hurry up and get up there. I said, what happened? Where she get shot at? What's going on?
We just calling around to my auntie and them, like asking them to hurry up and get to us. And it was just like crazy.
We jumped in the car. My sister-in-law, she got me in there 2.5 seconds we was there. When I got there, they told me that she was in surgery. And I'm just screaming and hollering, and you know, they had security to come and get me and all this. I'm like, I want my baby. I look in the room. When I looked in the room, I seen her head wrap. I knew then my baby got shot in the head. I knew it was all bad then.
The doctors got the rushing in the room like, come on, we gotta get her out of here. We gotta get her into surgery.
That's a night that I never, ever forget.
Well, Michelle was struck once in the head and twice more, and she was in a coma for 9 months. On the 7th of June, 2014, at approximately 3 a.m., the Chicago Police Department received a 911 call of an individual shot at the 4600 block of South Ellis. The initial officers arrived and found a female that was shot in the head, and she was later identified as Michelle Pearson. And she was in a coma for 9 months.
When I seen her head wrapped around, I just went crazy.
They took half of her skull out, and they said that they was gonna let it rest, you know, till the swelling go down before she get the skull put back in.
She made it out the hospital. She made it to the nursery home. She was fighting so long, like we don't know how.
Michelle always have been a fighter. All her life, Michelle have been a fighter. She's not the type of person to give up.
I think she fought real hard, and I think she really fought because of her son.
I just knew I was bringing my baby home. I just knew it. She fought all the way from June the 7th, 2014 to March the 2nd, 2015. I don't know what happened.
She was pronounced dead on the 3rd of March 2015. She never regained consciousness, so she was never able to be interviewed in order to tell anybody what she could or couldn't as far as who did this.
I lost her for nothing. No apparent reason. It should have never happened to her.
It was better to see her still with us. Now that she's gone, it's no more going to visit her. Cause we did so much with her after she got shot. It's like she was with us. Now all we got is memories. 4608
South Ellis is a residential street with mainly like apartment buildings. 47th Street is a busy street with businesses on it, and this was at 4608, so almost a block away. Now, very minimal amount of vehicular traffic, minimal amount of anybody being on the street at that hour. The crime scene was later processed with evidence recovered. In this case, were expended shell casings from the handgun used in the shooting that were laying on the street. Those were recovered. There was some blood on the scene from the victims, but you take swabs of that blood, and then overall photos of the scene.
All I told her to do is take care of your son. That's all you gotta do. I got you. And somebody just took my baby away from me for nothing. For nothing. You know, nobody understands. You know, mother have to endure this pain. No mother. It hurts so bad. And I just feel my life is gone now.
I miss Michelle. Michelle is my life. Any pain that she went through for those months, she didn't deserve.
I'm not happy at all. The pain is not going to go away. No matter who they found, none of that. The pain is still there.
We miss her so much, and we all grieving in our own way, so it's like we all by ourselves, and we like got the moments that we can't communicate with each other because we both got these feelings and we don't know which way to go. It's so hard, but we trying so hard to just get back right because we know that's what she'll want for us.
We have to live with this for the rest of our life. And to see her son asking where his mama at and he don't really understand what's going on with Michelle, the pain is gonna be there.
I loved her, I nurtured her, I did everything. My life is ruined.
This situation taught us a lot about, the value of life. It taught me a lot about my value of life. And it showed me that, every day is not promised. Tomorrow you could be gone, and today you just have to live.
There were some blood swabs taken from the scene, from the sidewalk. Those were the victims, where the victim had bled on the sidewalk after falling down. There was 2 other individuals with her, yes. One of them was shot and wounded, and then the one who was not wounded was interviewed. The detectives tried to interview the surviving victim, but he was also in an induced coma. When there's a shooting like that with multiple shots, there was 19 shots fired. People do wake up, and you do, as a course of your investigation, the initial investigation, detectives will knock on doors and ask people if they heard or saw anything. Sometimes people do, sometimes they don't. In this case, nobody saw anything that was any investigatory help.
I don't have justice. I don't have nothing. She got shot for nothing. She died for nothing. And no justice.
Have you been in an accident? Have you been the victim of discrimination or had your rights violated? Have you been injured? If so, the lawyers at Hale Law would love to talk to you. We offer a free consultation. Call me, Andy Hale, 312-870-6926. 312-870-6926. I look forward to talking with you about your case.
On the 7th of June, 2014, at approximately 3 a.m., the Chicago Police Department received a 911 call of an individual shot at the 4600 block of South Ellis. The initial officers arrived and found a female that was shot in the head, and she was later identified as Michelle Pearson. In all likelihood, the 2 individuals she was with may have been the intended target, but I would highly, highly doubt that she was the intended target. I think she was in the wrong place at the wrong time, potentially with the wrong people.
They just don't know how they messed our life up. We had a good life. We was happy. We didn't do nothing to nobody. And if I get justice, I might feel a little relieved. It's still not going to bring her back.
To get justice for Michelle is to get justice for her son. To get justice for Michelle will get justice for her mother. To get justice for Michelle will get justice for everybody, period.
It will be so much better to know just who did this. Like, sometimes I just think how could somebody do that to somebody that's didn't do nothing to them? She looking pretty, got on her skirt. Like, how could you shoot somebody that you know that probably has just innocent, just a girl just outside with 2 boys? I don't care about retaliation. I wouldn't care about none of that, just to know that they're behind jail. That would mean so much to us, to just get that person caught for what they done to Michelle.
Why did you do this to my daughter? You didn't even know her. You didn't even know that this child, this girl, had a child. You didn't know that she was the sweetest person in the world. You didn't know that. But you shot my baby cold-blooded for no apparent reason.
Michelle Pearson was only 19 years old. She was just starting her life. And it would be very helpful to our investigation if anybody had any knowledge at all if they came forward. Someone bragging about it, someone talking about it, anything at all would be helpful so that we could try to get some justice for Michelle.
We rack our minds wondering why. Why would a person take another person's life with no remorse?
If they can't tell us everything, just tell us something. Just give us a clue, anything, any little thing, a name, a last name, a facial, something.
I would want somebody to speak up. Like, don't be scared. Like, can you please just speak up and tell us what happened to Michelle?
I would want the person that actually had information to come to us and talk to us.
It was a male, black, with a hooded sweatshirt up, and the sweatshirt was pulled tight so that he couldn't identify the face. A 9mm handgun was used because 9mm shell casings were recovered from the scene. And there was 19 of them, like I said, so there was multiple. I mean, it wasn't just one shot, it was the person exited that vehicle intent on doing damage. So at this time, we're looking for anybody that could help us identify the individual that exited that vehicle while wearing a gray hooded sweatshirt and fired at the victims, the driver of that vehicle, and/or a description of that vehicle.
If anybody got information, anybody know anything, please just tell. Somebody knows something. Every chance I hear something, I'm going straight to the detectives. I'm not holding nothing back because they took my child from me for nothing. I'm fighting for justice.
You don't even have to come to us and tell us. You could call in anonymous. You could call the police like, okay, I know this and I know that. Just speak up, because I know it's somebody out there that knows something. I know somebody knows some type of information. The street talk.
If anyone has any information, we would ask them to please call the Chicago Police Department, Area Central Detective Division. The phone number is 312-747-8380. If someone could call the area with any information, they can ask directly for me, Detective Patrick Denahan, and if I'm unavailable, they can speak to any detective regarding this case. They would just mention that it was Michelle Pearson's homicide they have information on. Somebody will take their information down. Anybody that calls can remain anonymous if they choose to do so.
There's like so much that I wish I could have told her before this happened to her. So much I miss about her. That was like my best friend.
I want my life back. I want this to be all over with. It's just eating me up in the inside. I'm so torn.
I miss her so much.
The cases featured on tonight's episode remain unsolved, and we need your help. If you have any information on tonight's episode or any of the cases featured on the show, please give the detectives a call. We need our communities to come together so we can take back our streets and make our neighborhoods safe again.